After scripting a fabulous win for Mamata Banerjee in the state of West Bengal, Prashant Kishore is back in the news for multiple reasons. Take a look.
Months earlier, he scripted Mamata's win in Bengal, only to drop the bombshell of political sannyas.
So I will quit, I will cease to do what I have been doing until now. It's just that I'm glad God has been kind that I'm quitting, I'm able to quit after the victory.
But Prashant Kishore is bang in the centre stage again, with back-to-back high-profile political huddles with opposition stalwarts. Thrice with NCP Supremo Sharad Pawar. Then one big one with Punjab Chief Minister Amrinder Singh. And one crucial meeting with the Gandhis. And two hush-hush ones with Stalin and Naveen Patnaik. The meetings hold immense significance amid approaching state polls, with three possible ramifications. Possibility 1. Mission Rescue Congress. A revived Congress mission. The grand old party is constantly on downhill since 2014, tasting successive defeats and facing leadership rot. While meeting Gandhis, Kishore is said to have given a revival blueprint.
The road ahead for the grand old party is certainly not easy. The immediate challenge is to do well in the upcoming assembly polls. But before that, the party leadership needs to find answers to the vexing internal issues.
Possibility 2. Anti-Modi front.
Narendra Modi!
Kishore may also be stitching together a front to take up the formidable challenge of Narendra Modi. A possible 2024 front taking baby steps during the opposition meet at NCP Chief Sharad Pawar's residence last month.
ममता जी है वहाँ, शरद पवार साहब है, चंद्रा बाबू है, लालू यादव जी है, अखिलेश जी है, नेता कौन, ये पहले तय होना चाहिए. आज मोदी जी के सामने अगर आपको लड़ना है तो एक चेहरा चाहिए.
Possibility 3. Pawar play for president. Political circles are abuzz over Kishore lobbying for NCP Chief Sharad Pawar as the next president. Crunching electoral college math, which he thinks can install an opposition-backed president if Odisha CM Naveen Patnaik comes on board. BJP seems ready for the PK challenge.
इनको क्या है, अभी नए नए सेफोलॉजिस्टों को ठेका देने की कोशिश करेंगे. अब जनता पे तो विश्वास रह नहीं गया. इस तरह के जो है वो किराए के जो है वो रणनीतिकारों की तलाश चल रही है कांग्रेस में.
Can the opposition's Chanakya prove a potent match for Narendra Modi and BJP? With Anand Patel in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right. Meanwhile, on the other hand, politics is rife once again over a war of words which erupted after Rahul Gandhi sent out a tweet on national security. It all started with an article on alleged India-China clash in eastern Ladakh that Congress leader Rahul Gandhi shared on Twitter, saying the central government's foreign and defence policy as a domestic political tool has weakened our country, adding that India has never been this vulnerable. BJP hit back at Rahul Gandhi, saying the new article that claimed there was an India-China clash in eastern Ladakh is fake, rebutted by a retired Lieutenant Colonel Ajay Shukla with dubious antecedents, adding that Ajay's brother-in-law Suman Dubey was a long-time Gandhi loyalist, also accused in the National Herald scam. Earlier, Army has denied any reports suggesting the article has inaccuracies and misinformation. The Army said there's been no attempt to either side to occupy the area from where the disengagement has been undertaken. Okay, let's go. All right, viewers, there's breaking news coming in. At the back of all that is transpired, the latest is Rahul Gandhi as well as Congress MPs have all walked out of the Defence Committee meeting. Rahul Gandhi demanded discussion on Doklam and other border issues, but the chair denied the opportunity. Rahul Gandhi and the Congress MP demanded meeting to be reconvened, but this too was turned down. The Defence Parliamentary Panel meeting was on review of working of cant boards. Viewers, that is the latest news break that we are getting in. Rahul Gandhi, who's a part of the Defence Committee meeting, along with the other Congress MPs, staged a walkout of the Defence Committee meet. That after Rahul Gandhi's request of discussion on Doklam was turned down. He and other MPs staged a walkout. He also asked the meeting to be reconvened for that particular issue, but that was also turned down. All right, viewers, after Assam, it was Uttar Pradesh and on World Population Day that the Chief Minister of UP, Yogi Adityanath, gave out a draft for a possible population control policy. Well, he might have come under a lot of criticism, but then now there is an echo in other states to formulate a similar policy.
What's India's biggest problem? Population. What's stopping India from top-speed progress? Population. And what's the new fiery flashpoint on India's political battlefield? You guessed it, population. And the seed of this new flashpoint, Yogi Adityanath's Uttar Pradesh, has just gotten a whole lot bigger.
It will be better that he must listen to the BJP people and make new policies. Two-child policy is there in the state of Maharashtra as well in many states of this country.
सामाजिक समरसता और विकास दोनों के नज़रिए से देख करके इस पर काम करने की ज़रूरत है। इसीलिए योगी जी की सरकार को धन्यवाद देता हूं जो इतना बड़ा कदम उठाने का काम किया है। इसे जात, धर्म, राजनीति, वोट बैंक को अलग करके देखना चाहिए।
The issue has divided the BJP's allies and critics as well. While the JDU sees the solution to India's population explosion as awareness and education, the NCP's Sharad Pawar has gone on record to endorse the need for strict measures to control the country's exploding population.
जनसंख्या नियंत्रण के लिए अगर आप सिर्फ कानून बना करके कोई उसका उपाय करेंगे, ये सभी ठीक से संभव नहीं है। जब महिलाएं पूरे तौर पर पढ़ी रहेंगी तो इतनी जागृति आती है, इतना कॉन्शसनेस होता है कि अपने आप प्रजनन दर घटेगा। तो हम लोग तो इसी पर काम कर रहे हैं।
The politics has ensured that the issue becomes a major theme in the run-up to the UP elections in early 2022. Significantly, the flashpoint is rapidly becoming a national theme. After Uttar Pradesh and Assam proposed Hum Do Hamare Do policies to discourage large families, more states are nodding in approval. The BJP's big southern bastion of Karnataka has expressed interest in such a population control model.
Now, with limited resources available, it's left to be seen if the government of Karnataka can bring all sections of society together to control its population. But it's not going to be an easy task.
Apart from Karnataka, there's a growing chorus for a population control policy in Madhya Pradesh as well.
BJP MLA Rameshwar Sharma has written to Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan demanding that a law on population control be made. He has called the increasing population of the state as a cause of concern and an impediment to the overall growth of the state.
इस देश की बहुत बड़ी समस्या आबादी है और जनसंख्या नियंत्रण को लेकर कानूनी परिधि में ये विषय जरूर आना चाहिए और उसको कानून की परिधि में लाकर यदि हम काम करेंगे तो निश्चित रूप से उसका लाभ इस देश की भावी पीढ़ी को होगा।
The population policy chorus isn't limited to BJP-ruled states. There's a divide within the Congress on the issue.
कई सार्वजनिक प्लेटफॉर्म पे मैंने राज्य के चिकित्सा मंत्री होने के नाते भी मैंने कहा है कि अब समय आ गया हम दो हमारे एक। इस आबादी का नियंत्रण करना जरूरी है और उस पर जो भी कानून भारत सरकार को लाना चाहिए।
यही भारतीय जनता पार्टी है। जब नसबंदी का कार्यक्रम चला था तो ये लोग विरोध किए थे यदि 70 के दशक में यदि नसबंदी को यदि उसी को आगे बढ़ाते तो आज ये जनसंख्या इतनी नहीं बढ़ी। आज इस जनसंख्या नियंत्रण के लिए यदि कानून बना दें तो कानून से कोई समस्या का हल तो होना नहीं है जब तक कि लोगों में अवेयरनेस ना हो।
One thing is certain, population politics just became one of the big buzzwords in India as it cruises into another election season. Bureau Report, India Today.
Obvious, anybody might say anything, but the fact is that there is a shortage of vaccines right now. We saw a massive spike on the 21st of June, and since then we've seen a steady decline. Now, many centres in the national capital have run out of vaccines. There is no information about when the vaccine will be available next. No vaccine availability signs were put up at several vaccine centres. Meanwhile, close to 250 people staged a protest outside a vaccination centre in Tamil Nadu's Trichy after being told that the dose for the day was over. Police had to intervene to pacify protesters. The situation is not very different in Karnataka, where Covishield is not available at places for the first dose itself. The vaccination rate has gone down from 1.5 lakh to 1.2 lakh per day. The new Health Minister, Mansukh Mandavia, has meanwhile slammed the states for mismanagement. Mandavia has put out a series of tweets saying that the states are informed about vaccine availability in advance and they need to plan better. All right, viewers, in view of a shortage of vaccines, in view of virulent variants, all of that put together and we fearing a possible third wave, there is no end to the legion of COVID idiots.
There are heroes. There are villains. And then there are COVIDians. These visuals are not from pre-COVID era. These images show a royal welcome of newly elected president of BJP in Tamil Nadu. Not 10, 20 or 50, there are hundreds of party workers who can be seen violating COVID norms. Social distancing has gone for a toss. Even Annamalai, an erstwhile IPS officer before joining the BJP, is seen flouting COVID guidelines. Another BJP leader and Maharashtra MLA Pankaja Munde was seen speaking in public amid a crowd, but without a mask and no social distancing. If you think that vaccination centers can help you fight COVID, then think twice. These visuals are from a vaccination center in Gopalganj, Bihar. There was chaos all around as the crowd indulged in throwing chairs and jostling as the wait for vaccine got longer. Social distancing norms went for a toss amid the shocking free-for-all.
कल भी आए थे, कल भी शाम को 4 बजे तक खड़े रहे। जब 4 बजे तो इन लोग बोले कि वैक्सीन खत्म हो गया है, इनका ड्यूटी खत्म, वैक्सीन खत्म। सुबह से इस समय तक 4 आदमी को दिया गया।
यहाँ लगभग 500 से ज़्यादा भीड़ है। नीतीश कुमार बोलते हैं कि ये जाब लगाओ, ये जाब लगाओ। ये अम्बेडकर भवन है, इसमें कोई जाब लगा है? यहाँ कोई प्रशासन है, वो भी जाब नहीं लगाया।
In Rajasthan's Dausa, devotees put faith above COVID safety by thronging the revered Balaji temple. Again without masks or maintaining the mandatory 6 feet distance from others for COVID safety. The shocking violations mock Prime Minister Narendra Modi's appeal to ensure COVID safety at all costs to avoid third wave.
एक्सपर्ट भी बार बार ये चेतावनी दे रहे हैं कि असावधानी, लापरवाही, भीड़भाड़ ऐसे कारणों से कोरोना संक्रमण में भारी उछाल आ सकता है। आज सवाल ये होना चाहिए हमारे मन में कि तीसरी लहर को आने से कैसे रोकना है।
So have we forgotten the death and despair of second wave and willfully ignoring warnings of health experts about a third wave, possibly bigger in magnitude? Bureau Report, India Today.
Monsoon mayhem continues to reign in the state of Himachal Pradesh. The latest is multiple landslides that have taken place across the state have claimed many lives. 6 bodies, including that of Punjabi Sufi singer Manmeet Singh, have been retrieved from the debris near Boh village. Manmeet hailed from the Amritsar district and had come along with 5 others, including his brother, to visit Dharamsala. He'd left for Kareri Lake on Sunday but was caught in heavy rains in the region while leaving for Dharamsala. Manmeet drowned while attempting to cross a water body. Hundreds of commuters, mostly drivers, have meanwhile been stranded on highways breached by landslides and streams of water. Rescue operation is on in full swing to evacuate them, but many of those stranded claim they did not even have access to food or shelter.
Flash floods have thrown life out of gear in Himachal Pradesh. We are on Mandi Pathankot National Highway, and this is the place called Gaggal near Kangra International Airport, where the river flood water has entered the national highway, which has led to blockade of the highway on both the sides. Hundreds of vehicles are stranded along both the sides of this road. This is not the case of Gajkhad alone. There are nearly a dozen such rivulets which are in spate, which has damaged dozens of houses, besides damaging the public and private property. In 2 villages, including the Bo, nearly 15 people were trapped, out of which 5 were rescued and one body has been retrieved. Rescue operation is still on to find out the other people who are still believed to be trapped inside the debris. The condition in other districts, be it Hamirpur, Bilaspur and Shimla, is the same, where the floods and flash floods have wreaked havoc in the normal life. With video journalist Dilip Sahu, this is Manjit Sehgal in Gaggal, Kangra, for India Today.
All right, I'm going to go into a quick break. When we return, it's a fact check segment. Well, welcome viewers. You're watching our fact check segment where we bust certain claims masquerading to be facts on social media platforms and WhatsApp groups. Now, there is a video which is floating about suggesting flash floods in Dharamsala. Frightening to say the least. But having said that, yes, it is a video of flash floods, but it has nothing to do with Himachal Pradesh or Dharamsala, but this video is from Japan. With that quick fact check, time for us to go into a quick break. To stay with us, news and updates continue on the other side.